Hi folks, this is Moondan Raghavan. Today we are going to see REST service automation as part of Python automation series. So without delay, we will start. So a quick introduction about the REST API services if you are new to the REST API services. And after that, we are going to see a different kind of packages required for the REST API services automation and some of the references or some of the websites you can refer for the REST services. And after that, we are going to see the GET request, POST request, PUT request, and DELETE request automation using the Python. Introduction about the REST API services. REST is the acronym for Representational State Transfer. In general, you can consider it's the application program interface, which is called the API, that uses HTTP requests to get, put, post, and delete data. The main difference between the browser and the services are like browser will be like a UI only with that, let's say URL you can access this one, but this is like a web service. You can interact with the web service only with the program. It can be written in any language such as Java, Perl, Python, Ruby, so on, whatever. So we can interact with this web service only with the program. So in such scenarios, you can use these web services in your web UI as well by indirectly interacting with this web service by using the different programming languages. And the main special about the REST API services is it supports the JSON, HTML, XML, plain text, and PDF formats for request as well as the responses. So required packages for the REST API services automation. Request is the module to handle the REST services request and its response. And after that, however, you will get the response, but it has to be converted into the JSON to apply the functions which are available for the dictionary or JSON. So for that, we will use a JSON module. After the JSON path, so JSON path is specifically for the to traverse to the specific node or specific key and to get the values for that. So the references are rs, so request and response shortcut, and after that we have the jsonpath.com. So we will have the quick introduction about these two sites so that you will have a clear idea in the followed slides. So for example, this is a JSON path site. So if you have any JSON, valid JSON, you can keep it here and you can just make a JSON path. So JSON path is equivalent to the XML path in case of XML. Since it's a JSON path, simple as it is. So let's say I want to get all the information, then you will put dot dot, or let's say if from the root node you need to put dollar dot dot, so you will get everything from the JSON because you are getting all the things root node. And one more thing, whatever you are getting output of JSON path query result, that will be a list. So for example, if I want to get the page, so you will get how many pages you have, so you will be getting. And we have created a separate video on the JSON path and a different kind of combination in the JSON path creation. So however, let's say we will navigate to, so dot here, it will act as a slash, so dot dot. Then after that, I'm mentioning the data. So under the data, whatever the items are available. So under data, we have list of items or list of documents, you can tell. So for that, we are getting as a total as a list. So in that, I want to get only the first one. So I will mention 0 index. So you will get only the first item from the list. Then let's say dot, here it will be like a slash, so followed by that one. So just if I type ID, so you will get only the first item. I mean first ID. Say if I want to get the second thing, so let's say I want to get one slash. So you are getting first element, okay, fine. So ID you are getting, so it's a first ID. That means that you have only one ID. So from that first document, you are getting ID. So let's say if I type email, so you will get from the first email. So like that, we can do the different combination of JSON path to navigate to the particular element. And next one, REQ and RES. So it's about the third party site, and you can have different kind of free services for REST APIs. So you need to form the REST API URL by using the base URL plus the URL what they have given here. So if you use both this URL, you will be getting the, let's say if you click on kit, so you will be getting the total URL by combining these two, and you will get the expected responses 200, and you will be getting data like this. So basically get is like getting some information from the REST API services, and post is like creating something newly to the services or to the server, and put is like update, and delete is like to remove the resource from the server. So these are the sites we are going to use in our coming slides, so it will be easy to understand here itself. So next one, we are going to see the get request. So just go to the PyCharm. So first three lines basic commands, so which is like importing the required modules, so that will not become under the coding. So if you see the remaining file, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just 5 lines of code you can complete your get request automation. For example, the first line starts like request.get and the URL. So we have seen how to frame the URL for the get request. So in that way we have prepared the URL ready. So I'm getting the get request, and whatever the response comes as, that will be saved into the response variable. Then as I told you earlier, the response will be in the different format. So we need to convert into the JSON, which is equivalent in dictionary in the Python. So by converting this, we will be operating with the JSON path. Okay. So for that reason, we are using the JSON module. So JSON.loads. So loads, it will get the input as a string. So it will convert into JSON. So that will be saved into the JSON underscore text. So now we have the response in a JSON format. Then after, we are going to use the JSON path to navigate into the particular key value. So for that, we are going to use JSON path. Inside values will be like your JSON content, and after that your JSON path. So however, we have seen how to frame the JSON path. So you can test there as well. And if you are sure that, you can prepare the JSON path directly here, and you can save that into the result list. However, we have discussed that the JSON path result would be always a list. So that's why I'm naming convention also, I make it as a result list. So if you want to get elements, it may be a single result, or it can be 0 result, or it can be multiple results. So however, if you want to get the values from the result, you need to go with indexes. So that's why you can see in the last, you are going to assert as well. Because if you want to assert some value has to be in particular way, you will assert that one. So for example, in our first case, it is ID is 4. So I'm just changing to 4. And you can, I'm just printing one more statement, response is, and response.content and first ID. So I'm getting the total result list. So just execute this one and see how it goes. So you are getting the total response here. And after that, you are getting the first ID as 4. Because if you start with here, so data, in the data, you are getting the first element. So first element in that you have one ID. So that ID value is 4. So you can assert as well. Like that, you can get different JSON path for different keys and its value, and the same way you can assert as well by using the list and its index values. So within 4 lines, we have completed the get request. In the same way, we are going to see the post request. So post request, however, before going to the request, I'm going to create the URL here. So already I have created the URL by using the same website. Then after that, with open, however, if you're going to post some requests, that means you have some content to post. So when you have some content to post, better to have in the file so that it will be for your evidence in the future as well. So for that purpose, I'm going to open post request.json file. So already we have that file. So let's open and see. So this is the input JSON as per that site. So we are following the same thing, and I am opening the read mode, and I am giving the alias name I. So input content, I'm just reading all the file content, and I'm just putting into the input content. The beauty about Python is if you open with keyword while opening the file, so you don't need to close that file, it will take care of itself. So that's why you are reducing the line also. So one more line is reduced in the coding point of view. Then after, you are using the post request. So request.post and the URL where you're going to post and which content you are going to post. Simple. So the response will be saved here. And after that, we have seen it will show what is the expected response code as well, or say status code. So you can assert that one as well. Then after that, let's say you have the content, response content, but sometimes it's not only to see in the console, you need to save as a evidence as well. So in that scenario, you are going to create one more file. So if it is not, it will create. If it is there, it will just overwrite. So I am here creating the post response JSON. Same concept like reading the file. And after that, here instead of the reading, here I'm going to write the response text. So just execute this one and see how it goes. So it's in the same get request. So change it, run as post request. So execute code completed. So however, we will see the what is the post request. So this is the post request, and post response we will see. So post response, the response will be in the ID and it's created at, so ID is 570 and created at the timestamp, so current timestamp, so 7th August, so it's coming correctly. So based on your, let's say API, there may be different response codes and the different response content as well. So based on our need, we can check that as well. So next one is put request. So put request is the same concept. So you are creating the, let's say you are importing the required modules and after that you are creating the URL and put request JSON. So you will see what is the input here. So this is the put request. Then after you are just reading that content into the input content variable, then you are going to put request and passing the URL where you want to put the request and input content, which content you are going to put. And here the response code changes for the, let's say put request. So that's why it's 200. You are asserting that as well. And response contents also you are adding. So that's all about this one. So just execute this one as well. So it's completed. So put response JSON. If you open, so it's updated. So for example, one more thing about the put request is like there may be different resource. So you need to tell the correct resource number as well. So we have seen the put request as well. So you are going to update any specific resources. For example, here user ID will be 2 in our case, but based on your REST API services, there will be a different IDs or different resource name. So last one is very simple, that is delete request. So delete request, you are just having the URL there, which resource you are going to delete. And after that, there is no content will be asserted because you already deleted that resources. But however, response codes make sure that you have deleted that content correctly. So for that, we have simple line. So you are deleting that particular resource. And after that, you are getting the response. In response, status code will be 204. Just execute. So exit code is 0. That means that you have deleted that resources. So whatever the code we have seen, those are in the slides. So get request only, let's say 3, 4, 5 lines of code. And then after that post request. So post request, you are getting the post request JSON, reading that and you are posting that into the with post request. Then after that you are assigning the response code and after that you are writing into the post response JSON as an output. Same way for put request and delete. So delete, we don't have any content to assert. So that's why we are just asserting only the final status code. So this is about the Python automation with REST API services. So even if with lesser codes, we can automate the Python REST API services. So that's the beauty about the Python REST API services automation. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.